So it looked like a member of the Brown staff has quit the damn team. Now, guys, I'm here to tell you, this is not a good look. And you want to know what this tell me? The boat is sinking and people ain't going down with the Titanic. The Cleveland Browns is in disarray. When you start seeing members of the staff quitting, leaving, mind you guys, the season is still going on. Oh my goodness, this is looking very, very.
That's like 60 years in the real world. It's not an exaggeration, right? So they went 3-14 last year, and the offense they're trotting out this year is even worse. Like, to me, there's a mountain of evidence that says it's just time to move on. And people don't want that, and it's not easy for the next guy. And when the next guy does come, it's easy to tear it down. It's not easy to build it back up. We've seen that time and time and time again, right? But like, they went all in on last year and this year, and they're failing. They're not losing because there's 12 starters on IR. They're not losing because their team's.
The Browns just blew up again, like fireworks gone wrong. Jimmy Haslam looks like a man watching his empire fall apart piece by piece, and the panic's written all over Cleveland. The locker room's on edge, voices are raised, and right in the center of this chaos stands one name that's got everyone whispering. Shedeur Sanders, the college sensation, has somehow become the eye of the Browns' latest storm, stealing attention from quarterbacks, coaches, and even the front office drama itself. Something huge is brewing behind closed doors, and this time, it's not just Haslam's temper ready to explode. Whispers are flying about secret meetings, furious phone calls, and some next-level move that could flip the Browns' story upside down. The city's buzzing, insiders are sweating, and the pressure in Berea is so intense you can almost hear the cracks forming through the walls. Once again, Cleveland's managed to hit that big red self-destruct button, and everyone's just watching it burn. You'd think after decades of disasters, they'd finally learn how to stay out of their own way, but no. This team's like a professional chaos machine, always finding new ways to trip over itself. Haslam's sprinting around like a CEO on 5 espressos, tossing out staff like old playbooks. It's fast, messy, and wild. And when your people start quitting mid-season, that's not just a bad sign, that's a full-blown meltdown. Nobody jumps ship in the middle of the storm unless they've already seen the iceberg coming through the glass. And yet somehow, Cleveland's still calling this a rebuild. Please, the ship isn't just sinking, it's already at the bottom, and they're out here calling the bubbles progress. This is madness, pure Cleveland madness, turned up to 11. The chaos just jumped a level, and it looks like the Browns' chief strategy boss packed his spreadsheets, his coffee mug, and whatever sanity he had left, then dipped toward baseball. Baseball. You've got to be over football to swap playbooks for batting averages, and the timing has everyone side-eyeing the hallways. That's not a casual career pivot. That's an escape route with witness protection energy stamped across it. At least that's how it looks from the outside. The vibe is less new challenge, more cut the lights and move quiet, and the building feels twitchy like someone pulled a fire drill without telling security. Word on the street is that the Colorado Rockies are peeking at the Browns analytics mastermind, Paul DePodesta, and people keep acting like this is just routine business as usual. Come on! Nobody bounces mid-season unless the walls are flashing neon and the calendar's screaming that the timing is off. If that story even sniffed daylight, you know how it goes. The countdown started, the phones lit up, and the panic spread through Berea like a blaring alarm. It reads less like a tidy lateral move and more like a strategist who saw the red light blink on the laptop and decided it was time to ghost the building. Fast! Kevin Stefanski probably looks like a student whose project lead bailed an hour before the presentation, while Andrew Barry's scrolling like it's a second job at 2 a.m. Job listings at 2 a.m., searching for anything that doesn't involve Jimmy Haslam's name in bold letters. And then there's Haslam. Oh, you can practically see him pacing in front of the mirror, like a king losing his crown. The man's muttering under his breath like some football-obsessed monarch gone rogue. We're gonna fix this team, even if I have to fire every single person still breathing. It's not management anymore. It's a full-blown meltdown wrapped in an expensive suit. At this point, Jimmy Haslam might actually pull the trigger on everyone. Coaches, analysts, interns, maybe even the poor guy refilling the Gatorade coolers. Nobody's safe when the boss is swinging the broom like it's a sword. When the owner goes on one of those clean house rampages, you don't argue, you just start updating your resume and hope your key card still beeps green in the morning. The vibe around Berea's got that quiet panic. You can feel it in the air. Kevin Stefanski's gripping his job like it's a wet football in the middle of a thunderstorm. Every press conference, you can see it in his body language. Tight smile, stiff shoulders, that haunted stare of a man who knows the countdown's already flashing on the wall. He's coaching like someone whose lease expires next week and the landlord suddenly stopped replying to his texts. That's not confidence, that's survival mode. You know that feeling when your boss ghosts your emails for days, then suddenly shows up at your desk just to check in? That's Stefanski's life right now, living on borrowed time with his phone always on silent. And the wildest part, in the middle of all this Cleveland chaos, one name keeps echoing through the hallways louder than Haslam or Barry: Shedeur Sanders. The kid's name is everywhere, like a ghost haunting the Browns' future. Every conversation circles back to him. Coaches whisper, reporters speculate, fans obsess. People are wondering if he's the missing spark, the miracle headline waiting to happen.
They get to 11-on-11 session, apparently, and they've got the first team defense out there, but it's the second team offense going against the first team. And who's leading the second team offense? It's Shedeur Sanders. So Shedeur Sanders is taking reps, and this is what we've been asking for forever. He's taking reps against the first team defense. And by all accounts, Kid held his own. And you got to remember when we're talking about this, I'm not saying that Shedeur Sanders took first team reps. He did not. He took second team reps against the first team defense. He's playing with the second string off.
The savior who could finally end the city's endless heartbreak. Fans are out here daydreaming hard, picturing Shedeur Sanders in that orange and brown, slinging touchdowns, breaking old curses, and maybe, just maybe, giving Cleveland something real to believe in again. The city's starving for hope, and Sanders looks like the miracle carved straight out of a highlight reel. But come on, this is Cleveland. You already know how this script usually plays out. They'll probably draft him, bench him by week 3, and somehow blame him for traffic jams and climate change by December. That's just the Browns way. Hope big, crash harder. Meanwhile, Haslam's pacing around like Marie Kondo on a caffeine bender asking, does this coach bring me joy? No? Fire him? Does this GM spark optimism? Gone. Does the quarterback make me feel centered? Nope. Haslam's turned the Browns into a self-help meltdown with paychecks attached. His solution for everything seems to be one phrase: bring in someone else. Cleveland's stuck in this never-ending reboot cycle, and every fresh start crashes halfway through like a busted update on an old laptop. They keep trying to fix a broken system using the same busted parts and somehow expect a miracle every time. It's chaos on repeat. And speaking of mystery, let's talk about Paul DePodesta for a sec. The man's been quietly cashing checks in that front office for nearly a decade. Yet ask any fan about him, and they'll swear he's a ghost. Nobody's seen him, nobody's heard him. He's the Loch Ness Monster of Berea. Every few years, someone claims they spotted him in the wild, maybe whispering over a spreadsheet, but there's never proof. Then suddenly, boom, he's gone again, vanishing back into the mist like he was never there at all. Off to the Rockies, like he's entering witness protection for failed football strategists. Paul DePodesta didn't just leave Cleveland, he disappeared. One day he's in the building, the next he's a ghost, and the wildest part, nobody in the media has heard a single word from him since 2022. That's 2 full years of radio silence. That's not just mysterious, it's downright shady. It's like finding out your accountant packed up, moved to Vegas, and forgot to mention where your money went. So, when DePodesta bolts for baseball, don't call it coincidence, it's pure survival instinct. Picture him sitting in his office, closing his laptop, whispering to himself, yeah, I see where this is heading, I'm not waiting to be Haslam. Because let's be honest, he didn't resign, he escaped. The man took one look at the Browns' so-called future, saw it scribbled out with permanent marker, and said, nope, I'm good. That's not quitting. That's tactical retreat. Meanwhile, Haslam's probably stomping through the facility like a thunderstorm in a suit, ranting about culture and leadership while half the staff are secretly emailing recruiters under their desks. The place doesn't even feel like a football team anymore. It's more like a high-speed evacuation drill where everyone's pretending they're not already halfway out the door. Haslam's energy right now, pure caffeinated chaos. It's like a dad finally checking the Wi-Fi bill and realizing his kids have been secretly buying NFTs for months. He's furious, he's pacing, and he's ready to tear the whole thing down again, convinced that this time he'll rebuild it better. But come on, we've seen this movie before. Because in Cleveland, that's not panic, that's tradition. Every few years, they smash that big red reset button, fire half the building, and tell fans with a straight face, this time it's different. Spoiler alert, it's never different. The Browns are that one friend who swears they've changed every New Year's Eve, promising they've got it all figured out this time. Then 2 months later, they're back doing the same nonsense, just louder, bolder, and with a new playlist blasting in the background. You'd think they'd learn by now, but nah. In Cleveland, chaos isn't the exception, it's the brand. The Browns keep treating dysfunction like it's part of the brand, like chaos is just another box they check off every season. And then there's the fans, poor souls still clinging to hope like it's oxygen. Every offseason turns into one big group therapy session. New schemes, new systems, new players, and the same recycled promises about change. For a few weeks, it all sounds fresh. New era, new energy, new hype. But then, week 3 hits, and reality smacks everyone across the face. Suddenly, fans are back to yelling at their TVs, watching the same mistakes play out again like a bad rerun that refuses to get canceled. Now, with the front office spinning out of control like a circus with no ringmaster, fans aren't even angry anymore. They're numb. It's that kind of exhaustion where you already know the ending, but you still grab popcorn just to see how bad it gets this time. And somewhere out there, Shedeur Sanders is probably watching this madness unfold thinking, yeah, maybe I'll chill in Colorado a little longer. From afar, Cleveland might look like opportunity. Bright lights, big market, a chance to be the hero. But up close, it's like volunteering to fix a roller coaster while it's still flying full speed. Let's be real. Haslam's rage isn't about one guy walking away. This is years of frustration finally bursting through the seams. The man's dumped millions into coaches' schemes and 5-year visions. Yet the Browns still keep tripping over their own shoelaces. It's the same heartbreak on repeat, just in a shinier stadium. Now Haslam's had enough. You can feel it boiling over. He's about to do what billionaires always do, make impulsive, emotional decisions and dress them up as strategic restructuring. The storm's coming, and it's got front-page drama written all over it. You can already tell, this offseason's gonna be straight up wild. The Browns are gearing up for another round of press conferences stuffed with buzzwords like new direction, fresh culture, and long-term vision. But let's not kid ourselves, it's Cleveland. That new direction always seems to lead right back to where it started. Accountability and organizational culture, the same buzzwords they toss around until your eyes roll straight into next season. It's all polished smiles and fake optimism for the cameras, while behind the scenes, Jimmy Haslam's probably pacing like a man watching his billion-dollar dream turn into a reality show. No script, no direction, just pure drama on tap. But honestly, can you even blame him completely? Watching the Browns try to manage themselves is like watching a toddler juggle fireworks. You don't know whether to laugh, cry, or dive for cover. The chaos isn't just messy, it's contagious. It spreads through that building faster than gossip in a group chat. And here's the wild part. Staffers aren't even waiting around for pink slips anymore. They're quitting before the axe can swing. That's how bad it's gotten inside Berea. When your top strategist decides the Colorado Rockies sound like a stress-free option, that's not career advancement. That's a full-on cry for peace of mind. That's like saying, you know what? I'd rather manage a baseball team that's been rebuilding since the Bush administration than sit through one more Monday meeting with Jimmy Haslam. You know it's bad when baseball starts looking like a vacation and everyone inside the building knows exactly what's next. Haslam's version of spring cleaning never stops at one person. It's an avalanche waiting to happen. First, the analytics guy goes, then the coach, then the GM, maybe even the poor mascot if he blinks wrong. Once Haslam gets that restructure itch, nobody's saved, man. The Browns aren't rebuilding anymore. They're rebooting on repeat. Same chaos, new names, same heartbreak, and this season, oh, it's just getting started. The storm clouds are already gathering, and Cleveland's front office is about to find out the hard way. When Haslam starts swinging that broom, even the walls start shaking. Even the janitor's probably sweating right now, wondering if sweeping the wrong hallway could get him fired next. The tension in that building is so thick, you could slice it with a helmet visor. Every corner of Berea feels heavy, like everyone's just waiting for the next explosion. Kevin Stefanski, bless the man's soul, looks like he knows the countdown's already ticking. You can see it in his eyes, that quiet mix of exhaustion and defiance. He's coaching with the same energy as someone who's already mentally packed up, shipped out, and bought a house in Oregon. Every play call feels like a subtle goodbye letter, every quarterback rotation like a guy flipping through TV channels, just killing time before the finale drops. You can practically read his mind. Oh, you want to fire me? Fine, but I'm not going down alone. That's the vibe. Quiet rebellion with a smirk. The man's coaching on fumes, but he's doing it with just enough attitude to remind everyone he's not backing down without leaving a mark. And hovering behind all of it, like a ghost the Browns can't shake, is that never-ending subplot that refuses to die, Shedeur Sanders. The internet can't stop saying his name. Every time the Browns implode, his name gets dragged back into the mix, like he's the chosen one sent to save Cleveland football. Maybe he's the future, maybe he's the spark, or maybe the city's just desperate enough to cling to any lifeline that looks good in a highlight reel. Still, there's something almost poetic about it. The Browns are crumbling from the inside, yet everyone's daydreaming about a Sanders-style rescue arc. Because when your team looks like it's sinking straight to the ocean floor, the fantasy of a lifeboat with a Heisman smile suddenly feels like the only thing worth holding on to. It doesn't even feel like hope anymore. It feels like straight up manifestation. Fans aren't just wishing for salvation, they're speaking it into existence. But don't get it twisted. This isn't just another bad week in Cleveland. Nah, this feels like the quiet before something massive, the calm before another full-blown franchise explosion. You can sense it in the air. The Browns are gearing up for yet another so-called new era. Reset button, slammed, new leadership, loading, new direction, promised. Same heartbreak, already waiting at the finish line. And Haslam, he's not even pretending to keep it together anymore. Word around Cleveland is that he's done. Done with the excuses, done with the annual "we'll be better next year" speeches. The man's about to blow, and when he does, nobody's safe. Not coaches, not execs, not even the walls of Berea. Haslam's patience has officially evaporated. He's sick of watching the Ravens celebrate while his team trends for every wrong reason possible. Now the man's gone nuclear. No more polite smiles, no more boardroom spin, just raw frustration exploding through that billion-dollar building. The vibe inside the Browns facility right now has to be electric with fear, like everyone's walking around with invisible about-to-be-fired stickers slapped on their backs. You can almost hear the whispers echoing through the halls, people just trying to stay one step ahead of whatever storm Haslam's about to unleash. The Browns have officially entered their favorite phase of the eternal cycle. Hype, hope, heartbreak, house cleaning, then rinse and repeat. It's the same tragic formula, over and over, and somehow they've mastered it. Honestly, you almost have to respect the consistency. It's chaos turned into an art form. Other teams rebuild, but Cleveland reincarnates. Every few years, they rise from the ashes, dressed up in new faces, fresh slogans, and shiny promises of change. But give it time and boom, they crash right back into the same chaos they swore they'd escaped. It's dramatic, it's painful, it's exhausting, and it's so Cleveland. It's deja vu and shoulder pads all over again. Executives are sprinting for the exits, coaches are sweating through press conferences, and Jimmy Haslam's pacing like a volcano in designer shoes, ready to erupt at any second. The whole building feels like it's shaking under the weight of its own drama, and floating above all the madness, like a ghost story whispered in locker rooms, is one name that just won't fade: Shedeur Sanders. His name's everywhere again, hovering like some mythical fix to Cleveland's eternal curse. Somewhere out there, a die-hard Browns fan is clutching an old jersey, whispering, "Maybe this time." Because that's what Cleveland does best: hope. Hope powered by caffeine, heartbreak, and pure stubborn faith that refuses to die no matter how many times the team crashes and burns. At this point, the Browns don't even need a new playbook. They need an exorcist. Forget analytics. Forget the data dives. Call in a priest. Somebody's got to come cleanse whatever curse keeps replaying this same sad movie year after year. It's like the franchise is stuck in a time loop where every new promise ends up haunted by the ghosts of seasons past. And yet you've got to hand it to Jimmy Haslam. The man's nothing if not passionate. When the walls start shaking, he doesn't sit back or stay calm. He charges straight into the chaos. He's the type who will rebuild the entire empire with fire still burning around him, convinced that this time, somehow, the Browns will finally rise from the ashes for real. The CEO's lost it. Full meltdown mode in a custom-tailored suit. Jimmy Haslam's done playing nice. He's tired of mediocrity. Tired of cashing checks for losing seasons, and beyond tired of watching his billion-dollar franchise run like a group project with no leader and no plan. Now, he's on a mission, a rampage to burn down the old and rebuild from the ashes, no matter who gets scorched along the way. He's cleaning house like a man trying to erase history itself. You can feel the tension buzzing through Berea, whispers in every hallway, glances exchanged like secret codes. Everyone knows what's coming next. It's only a matter of time before the firings drop, the mutual decisions roll out, and the PR team starts spinning chaos into pretty headlines about new direction and fresh vision. It's the Browns' playbook for disaster. Polished, predictable, and still painful to watch. And give it a few weeks, Shedeur Sanders' name will be back in the mix again. Because in Cleveland, hope always needs a face. That's what this city does best. Crash spectacularly, rebuild dramatically, and believe again with reckless faith. It's beautiful, it's tragic, and it's perfectly Cleveland. Fans will dust off their jerseys, light up their timelines, and whisper that same eternal line. Maybe next season, like a prayer they've been repeating for generations. But don't fool yourself. This isn't the end of the chaos. Not even close. This is just the intermission. The Brown saga isn't wrapping up. It's gearing up for its next messy, unpredictable chapter. It's the kind of drama that pulls you in like a reality show you hate to love, loud, emotional, and impossible to turn off. And at the center of it all, Jimmy Haslam, raging like a storm in the boardroom, convinced that if he swings hard enough this time, he'll finally strike gold, or at least silence the ghost haunting Cleveland's never-ending rebuild. Kevin Stefanski's coaching like a man who's already packed his boxes and labeled them "do not return." You can see it in his eyes. He's mentally checked out. And somewhere in Berea, Shedeur Sanders is probably watching all this chaos unfold with that little smirk that says, "Yeah, this is exactly why I stayed in college first." Meanwhile, poor Andrew Berry looks like he's one coffee away from a breakdown, refreshing job boards like he's waiting for a Fortnite loot drop. The man knows the clock's ticking, and soon the Browns front office will look like a revolving door caught in a hurricane. People spinning in and out so fast you can barely keep track of the names. It's chaos. Pure, expensive chaos. And the wildest part? Jimmy Haslam still thinks he's being subtle about it. But subtlety and Haslam, those two words have never even been in the same sentence. The man's ready to fire anyone who so much as looks at a clipboard the wrong way. Nobody's safe. Not the coaches, not the staff, not even the poor water boy just trying to stay hydrated. Haslam's on a full-blown rampage, and it's showing in every headline. The optics are insane. Fans are panicking over resignations, media's cooking up wild theories, and Haslam's over there channeling pure billionaire fury, polishing his anger like it's a trophy. It's like he's running a football team and a demolition company at the same time. Because let's be honest, Cleveland doesn't do slow burns. It skips straight to full-blown ignition every single time. The moment the Browns start unraveling, they do it with cinematic flair. Explosions, drama, chaos, all rolled into one. And right in the middle of this fiery circus, the same name keeps echoing through every hallway and every group chat. Shedeur Sanders. Everyone's whispering his name like he's some kind of magic switch that could flip the Browns from dumpster fire to playoff contender overnight. The hype's wild, the hope's real, and the city's clinging to it like it's the last spark in a blackout. But here's the truth. It's not happening overnight. Nothing ever does in Cleveland. This is the city where hope sells tickets and chaos sells headlines. You can picture that locker room right now, coaches whispering nervously in corners, players keeping their heads down, and Jimmy Haslam pacing like a man who just realized the whole season was one giant group project, and he didn't even get credit for it. Kevin Stefanski's probably somewhere tossing play sheets down the tunnel just to feel something again. The man's fighting ghosts at this point, and somewhere out there, Shedeur Sanders is watching it all unfold from a safe distance. Quiet, calm, probably thinking, yeah, I'll let them figure this out before I step into that storm. He's either gearing up to save the franchise or collecting notes for his own future redemption arc. Right now, the Browns are officially in full-blown chaos mode. Staff members are fleeing, the owner's exploding, and Shedeur's name keeps floating through the air like a plot twist nobody saw coming. It's not even football anymore. It's a horror comedy that somehow feels a little too real. The only sure thing, Cleveland's mess is about to get even messier. The storm's just starting, and every headline feels like a new episode in a saga that refuses to end. The drama, the energy, the unpredictability, it's everything we've come to expect from the Browns, and somehow it still manages to shock us every single time. Don't go anywhere, because this story's only heating up. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below with what you think happens next. Cleveland's chaos isn't slowing down anytime soon, and you know we'll be here breaking it all down for you. See you on the next one.